Hello baking class, my name is Mrs. Hughes. I'm sure you've seen me around the building, and today we're going to be visiting the Math Bakery with Mrs. Hughes being the proprietor and Mrs. Murray being the baking guru. So what we're going to be talking about today is some math concepts in baking, things that you need to know when you're baking or when you're out in a restaurant. And the first thing I'm going to ask you is, what you might think of is, why do I need to know this? So we're going to be talking about two things today, one food cost and other yield. And the reason you need to know this are twofold. First of all, profit. Everybody wants to make money, and in the baking industry you need to make money. So these two formulas will show you how to keep your costs low and make some money. And the second thing is this wonderful math chart. If you look, if costs go down, profits go up, and again you're making money. And that's the whole part of the game, is giving your customers a good, tasty product and making money. So what we're going to start off with today is we're going to start off with the term food cost. Okay? And we're going to look at a formula, and I'm going to do a problem and then you're going to practice it. So food cost, the formula for food cost is food ingredient cost dollars divided by food cost percent divided by 100. And that will give you the amount that you're going to be selling an item for. So the first thing we're going to look at is this pack of donuts. And if you see there are 6, which means we have a half a dozen donuts. And we're going to be looking at this problem. If you want a food cost of 36% and ingredients cost of donuts is, the cost of these is $2.25, how much do I sell these for? So let's look at the formula and let's calculate what we're thinking about today. So the food ingredient cost, which is your $2.25, divided by the food cost percent, which is 36, you can drop the percentage, divided by 100. Now, you could do this in your calculator and put parentheses around it, but there's an easier way. If you look at your percent, 36, and you put a decimal right in front of it, now all you have to do is divide $2.25 divided by 0.36, and you get a selling price of the donuts of $6.25. That is how a place like Dunkin' Donuts has to sit and think about how much they're going to make. Because if your food cost is too high, you're not going to make much on your donuts. So you have to decide how much to sell it for. So what I'm going to do is we're going to look at another problem. So we're going to look at cookies, Murray cookies, and Hughes cookies. So you're going to create a problem. I'm going to turn off the video as soon as I introduce the problem, and I want you to try it. Here's the problem. If you want a food cost of 42% and the ingredients cost of a pack of cookies is $1.68, what is the selling price? So turn off or stop your video, sit down, either use your calculator or you can calculate it manually, come up with that cost. And when you're done, turn on the video and we'll review it. Thanks, see you later. Okay, so you've turned it off, we're back looking at this problem. So we're looking at Murray cookies, and we want to make some money to take you on an FCCLA trip. Again, we're looking at the cost, which for cookies is $1.68. We're going to divide it by the food cost percentage of 42 divided by 100, or like I said before, just put the decimal in front of the 42. So $1.68 divided by 0.42, and what do you get? Hopefully you got $4. So you would have to sell this box of cookies for $4 in order to keep your food cost percentage at $1.68. It's very important because you want to make enough money for you guys to go on your FCCLA trips. So that's a look at food cost. Now we're going to look at another concept called yield. going to look at two different products. The first product we're going to look at, and what we're going to do together, is lettuce. And if you notice, lettuce has a couple things when you buy it. First of all, if you look on the bottom of lettuce, it has the bottom that is not usable, and also part of the inside of the lettuce is not usable either. So you've got to decide what part is usable before you go out shopping or ordering your supplies, because you will need to order more. So here's the problem and here's the formula. The formula for yield is similar to the formula for food cost that we just completed. Yield is the usable product amount divided by the yield percent divided by 100. And that gives you the beginning product amount, or what you need to shop for in order to have enough of the product. So let's look at lettuce. If this piece of lettuce is only 85% usable, how much lettuce do you need to start with to have 12 pounds of usable product? So let's think about this. Usable product amount is 12 pounds. The yield percentage is 85 divided by 100. If you think about it, that looks very familiar to the food cost. Again, your decimal is 0.85. So you take 12 pounds divided by 0.85 and you get 14.11 pounds. Now, realize that the 14.11 pounds, you can't just buy 14 pounds of product. You have to buy a little more than that. So my advice is maybe round up another ½ pound and get 14.5 pounds of lettuce. Okay? So the next step we're going to do is we're going to have you try this. And here's a very usable idea for your program area, apples. If you notice that apples have rind or a layer outside, and they also have a middle core that is not usable. So when you buy it by the pound, you're going to have a part of that pound that is not usable anymore. And you're going to need to know how many pounds of apples will go into making an apple pie. So let's look at the formula again. So usable product amount, yield percent divided by 100. So let's look at the one you're going to practice now. If the yield on an apple is 90%, how much apple or how many pounds of apples do you need to start with to have 15 pounds of usable product? So what I'd like you to do now is turn off the video and try this problem on your own with the knowledge of the problem that we just solved together. Okay? I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, so we're back. So let's solve this one together based on the one we just did. So if you have 15 pounds, and that's what you need, you have a 90% yield divided by 100, and again, 0.90. If you took 15 divided by 0.90, you would come up with 16.66 pounds that you'd have to buy. And again, are you going to be able to buy 0.66 pounds? You could, but my advice would be just to make sure you have enough. Round that 16.66. We can't round it to a half because a half is 0.5. We'll have to round it up to 17 pounds. So when you go out to the store, you would need to buy 17 pounds of apples in order to have a usable product of 15 pounds. I hope that helps you understand the food cost percentage and also yield. See you later and have a great day in baking.